Maybe like.
You can go on Tumblr all day.
Yeah, that'd be good. What did you think I was going to say, like a dolphin or something? No, I'm trying to even think of that. And you too. Yeah.
Hi there.
Hi.
I just wanted to know, you probably know the fact that some of the characters are compared to animals or in Sam's case, Dean does one permanently. So I wanted to know if you had the choice of comparing your judgment of Roman to an animal, which one would it be?
Which animal would Dick Roman be? Either a koala bear or a great white shark. I'm leaning towards koala bear. When I was a kid, Jaws was my favorite movie of all time. My dad took me to see it when I was 7 years old. Because I was riding him so much to take me to see this movie. And I was rooting for the shark. So I'd have to go, yeah, with great white shark would be the answer to that.
Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering, since you've been like such a main villain on the show, who's your favorite fictional villain?
My favorite fictional villain?
Yeah.
Probably the shark from Jaws.
Great choice.
Did I mention my dad took me to see that? The shark was real and in New Jersey, that's true. There's a book about that, isn't there? Did you read that book? What was it called? Close to Shore, very good. Yeah, there's a book called Close to Shore about the shark that inspired Peter Mencken to write the Jaws movie. I wish I was kidding, but that's pretty darn close. Robert Shaw from the James Bond movies. How about well, Benicio del Toro used to do stuff back in the 80s. He used to do guest stars where he wouldn't speak, like he, does anybody know the James Bond movie Benicio del Toro did? Thank you, License to Kill. Talk to me afterwards, and you can take the phone. He had a gold tooth, he never said a word, and he stole the movie. If you go take a look, very, very young Benicio del Toro and License to Kill. That's probably he's my favorite. Thanks for that.
Hi. So Dick Roman, as a villain, I feel like he's played really unique and has a lot of character choices that you haven't really seen a lot in pretty much anything really. So I wanted to know what made you make the decision to make those character choices, or where you got the inspiration for your portrayal of Dick.
The inspiration for Dick was mostly the shark from Jaws. With a little bit of Mitt Romney mixed in. I'm not impressed with myself. These are plastic teeth. They're my favorite. And, well, as an actor, you use tricks that other people wouldn't necessarily see where you're going. I borrowed it from Steve Carell sometimes, and there was sort of, yeah, I did actually. Mitt Romney was something that I was using a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That is fucking hilarious.
Hi. How are you? Good.
This is kind of a fraction of the question, but one of my favorite characters on the show is Eve, mother-in-law from season 7. And I remember in season 7 there was some kind of altercation where Leviathan made it because they wanted to ban Eve, and I was wondering how you think Dick Roman would act towards Eve, if you're familiar with her at all.
I'm not familiar with her. Could you fill me in?
Well, she's a mother-in-law monster, and she died in purgatory before she was raised in and basically she goes proudly with Njcon souls and her children, monsters in themselves. She was referred to where she was Leviathan from. I don't know if they knew anything about
I would say he would eat her, replicate her, and then touch herself.
That's better than any answer I've gotten.
First off, that spot is named for our big green. Yeah,
Good morning, first of all, pleasure to meet you.
thank you.
Treat the hell out of me as Big Girl.
Thank you very much.
Meaty girl. I'm a historian, and I do reenactment. I remember you as Captain Artillery in Gettysburg.
Yes.
You're a
Wow.
very attractive man. Did you happen, I felt when I did reenacting, a certain experience, it's like surreal, it's like you're there. Did you happen to get that chance?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good question. Are you talking about Gettysburg or Gaza in general?
Gettysburg.
Gettysburg. I was in a movie called Gettysburg. The cool thing about that was Martin Sheen was in that movie. He played General Lee. I had been 17 years old, and I was living in London at the time, and I went backstage to a play that he was there, and I knocked on the door, and I said, I'm an actor, I'm 17, I'd really like to meet Martin Sheen. Can you give this note to him? Martin Sheen sent a note back and said, come on up. And I sat in there, and he was eating a sandwich, and he said, you're an actor too, what do you love about it? And I never forgot that, because everybody else in my life was saying, you're crazy to be an actor, you should never be an actor, you should go do something else. And so I got to do a movie with Martin. And I got a chance to thank him for not crushing my dream, because really I believe if you're an actor, it finds you, you don't find it.
You did an excellent job.
Yeah, thank you. And what was special about Gettysburg was Ron Maxwell, the director, really worked like crazy to make us all, we were wearing the outfits all the time. There was a scene between, you know the movie, I guess. You remember the scene where Longstreet is giving the Bible to Richard
Yes.
Jordan, or Richard Jordan character is giving the Bible to Longstreet.
Yes.
So that was supposed to be shot outdoors, but it was hailing that day, so we shot indoors. And I watched that scene happen. The scene is that a general is about to fight one of his best friends from college. He has no choice, but they're generals of opposing armies. And he says, in the event of my death, will you please make sure that this gets to him? It's a Bible. And he says, will you please tell him I'm sorry? I don't know.
And that's how it works in Civil War.
Yeah, and I watched that happen right in front of me, and I lost myself. And I watched Tom Berenger and Richard Jordan do the scene. And as soon as they yelled cut, I was back to reality again. And I realized just how important this profession is. I mean, it's not always treated that way, but when that happens, you realize, like, I get comes now thinking about it. We need that. As human beings, we need that. You know?
Thank you very much.